to you all for starting a little bit late, but Oreo decided that he had to go outside, so that's okay. So I had to take the dog outside. So I am doing this dual camera thing again. So I have my folks over at the Conscious Creations Instagram channel and the Conscious Creations YouTube channel. So if y'all see me looking in either direction, then this is why. So thank you so much for tuning. I'm so grateful for y'all all being or you join in on the replay. Know that I'm always grateful because you can be anywhere in the world and you are here and you are there and you are here with me in the energy that we're in this moment. And I appreciate that. So last week I started the journey through the 7 chakra system. And we started last week with the root chakra. So we talked about that. If you did not get a chance to go look at that, make sure you do that. As a matter of fact, it actually cut off during, I think it was the YouTube channel. I think it was the YouTube channel that the battery on the device died, so it didn't actually save the video. So you may actually be able to find it on one of the platforms, either on Instagram or on the YouTube channel. And if for some reason you cannot, we have to do it another time. So, but in any event, y'all are here today. We're here talking about the hey Oreo. Oh, we're here talking about the sacral chakra. Now, if you are not familiar with what I'm talking about, if you were drawn to this video, you got to have some sort of information, some sort of knowledge. But if you happen to simply come across this video and you were like, what TF is she talking about, right? In your body, energy flows through your body, right? And this energy, some people call it chi, whatever the case may be, it's a life force energy, prana, right? That flows through your body, right? And so as this energy flows, it does things and it activates your cells. Now, all of us are made up of a ton of cells, right? A lot of cells. And when those cells, there are also some cells that scientists don't know what they're for. And so because of that, there are cells within your DNA that have been labeled by others as junk DNA. Now, this is in part what we're talking about, because that's so-called junk DNA. When certain things happen in your life, and certain points in your life, this energy within your body is activated. Now, generally speaking, the chakras kind of open up like a flower throughout the course of your life until you get to maturity. And it doesn't really have so much to do with your chronological age, so much as it does with the activations of the energy within your body, right? So if you've ever heard someone say, someone is, more advanced for their age, or the concern and this is great that we're talking about this during what we're talking about the sacral chakra, because when people talk about children who had their innocence taken, right, at a young age, meaning that they've either been molested or somehow sexually abused or sexually violated, that does something, right? Because it literally opens up this channel of energy that flows within the body, and it activates certain things. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm having that Oreo and his little elephant. So if I'm distracted, that's why. It's because Oreo's right here with his little elephant and his toys and all this kind of stuff. But so what happens when children are violated? This energy is activated in children. It also, it happens throughout, like I said, different experiences through life. Some people, this energy is awakened through trauma, right? There's different things, different sorts of activations for everyone. But what it does, it's this. when we did the root, see if you listen to the root chakra video, it'd make more sense, but I'm going to explain. So at the base of your spine, there's this energy that is said to coil, right, in your tailbone, in your coccyx, right? That's to coil in that lower part of your body, right? In that tailbone. And so as that energy is awakened in your system, it sends signals throughout your body. And so this is what, when they say that the serpent, that is what that serpent is. It's this energy that is in the base of your spine, that at certain points that energy is awakened, right? And it travels up the spine until it gets to the base of your skull, and it activates your Christed consciousness. You understand what I'm saying? And so when you see these images of, divine beings with a halo, this is what they're talking about. This is what they're referring to. That energy throughout the spine has been awakened, and now they are an enlightened one. And you can see that aura from the person shown on their crown chakra. Do you see what I'm saying? And so it is this. And so even when you think about, if you've ever seen the symbol that they use all the time, I think it's called the eclipsis, something like that. The clephis, whatever. But the symbol that is used in medicine, right? That was actually taken from ancient Egypt, where they showed these intertwining serpents, right? Going up a staff. That's literally this energy that we're talking about. But it's healing, it's actually healing energy, right? But that energy gets activated at certain points if we know what to do with it and how to harness it, right? So that's what we're really talking about. So it's, as the energy travels, it's a masculine and a feminine energy. It's like they call it like the yin, the yang, right? It intertwines, right? And as it intertwines, like I said, different things are awakened, because as the parts of us that are intuitive, those parts of us that are protective, those parts of us that are receptors and receivers, those parts of us that are also doers, right? All of that energy is combined within us. And the reason that this sacral chakra energy is so key, and the reason it has been exploited by people who know this information that I'm telling you today, is because that is the seat of creativity. It's the seat of creation. And so once this energy is awakened in your body and goes all the way up to you having this Christed consciousness, this expanded universal viewpoint, you get to see so many things from a different perspective. You start seeing through the bullshit, right? And so it's if you want to trap someone in these lower chakras, right, there are ways to do that. And so this is why we're talking about this is why we're talking about awakening. And thank you so much, Mike, I appreciate that. But when we talk about awakening that energy, because it is so powerful, you think about what happens when people come together, either, well, in this case, it's through sex, right? When people come together and they bring this masculine and feminine energy together, there is a force that comes together that has the power to create literally another life. So when those energies come together, or when you otherwise use the energy within this creative portal that is you, right? This creative life force, God force energy. When that energy comes together, you have the power. You are in your most creative space. But understand, this is what sometimes people refer to as the Holy Spirit, or the Sophia, that wisdom, that divine feminine, because it's in flow. You understand? It's a flow of energy. It's a flow of energy. So that coiling up the spine, that serpent, that flowing energy, that flowing movement is it's difficult to contain in people. You understand? And so you having control, self-control over yourself, over your body, over your creative energy helps you to be able to consciously create. And so that's what we're talking about here this evening, is truly, one, understanding the power of this energy that is already within you, right? Awakening that energy, talking about any blockages that may come up, any blockages that generally people have. And a lot of this is what we're talking about. The blockages a lot of times come from things like traumatic experiences, like I was saying before, right? So it's funny because this brings up a lot of very interesting things, because I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and I don't know how many of you all have had these conversations with your friends, but I've had these conversations with friends over the years. And at some point when I was younger, or some point in another timeline, right? At that point, all of my female friends have been molested, right? And it was something that was very, very common at that particular time. And so now, looking back and actually seeing what was going on, it's people, again, using this sexual energy, using this sacred energy in a way that is harmful, right? In a way that is harmful. And so a lot of this energy, this sacral chakra energy, not only is it our creativity, our reproduction, it's also a place of transformation. So a lot of times when we have this transformation, this transformational energy, when we want to transition from one reality that we're creating to another, we have to really tap into this creative energy, right? And so being able to actually harness the energy and allow it to grow within you, allowing it to elevate and not getting stuck in that place, sometimes means honing in that creative energy for yourself, right? So for men, this is where a lot of men, when they talk about semen retention, right? This is one of the things that helps to build up that energy within your sacral center, right? For women, practicing celibacy, right? And for both, right? Practicing celibacy. These things help to build up this energy, and then channeling the energy, right, into another creative avenue, right? And so, like I said, like I was starting to say though, some of the things that happens with this energy is because it is water-based energy, it is water, it is emotion. It's important, in order to make sure that energy is flowing like water flows, it's important that we clear out any things that are going to create imbalance. So if you found yourself recovering from trauma, trying to heal from trauma, that's going to be important, right? Especially when it comes to sexual trauma. So all of my loves out there who have experienced, unfortunately, sexual trauma throughout the course of your life, you want to make sure that energy is healed, so that your creativity can flow again, unrestricted, right? And I'm going to get more into that and explain to you all how that happens, and on a deeper level, and how to really unlock that energy and why you want to unlock that energy, right? So like I said, because it is emotional energy, any emotion that is around sexual energy, creativity, sensuality, sexuality, right? Any of those things that cause feelings of stagnation. Like, for example, if you're feeling like you have a creative blockage, if you're an artist and you feel like you're having a creative blockage, this is the conversation for you, right? You want to listen you want to take heed to some of the things that I'm saying here, because it's important. Look at your emotions around certain things and really delve into that for a bit, right? Sit with yourself for a bit and really delve into what the emotion you are feeling around particular things are, so that you can get to the root of that, as we talked about last week with the root chakra. You want to get to the root of whatever that energy is. So a lot of women, like, we journal and things like that and write out what it is that we're feeling. for men, you guys have your own way of expressing, but writing is a great form of expression, a great form of flow. Just free writing, free thinking, right? Being able to do that so that you can release whatever that energy is that may be stuck within your system, within your sacral energy that may be blocking your creative flow and things like that, right? Um, so that's gonna be key. Also, no, so doing particular exercises. This is why when I'm doing these videos, I'm sitting on my little exercise ball here. I don't know if y'all can. So on my little exercise ball here because, like I said, this energy travels up the spine and it flows throughout your body, like unlocking your DNA, right, and healing you and all of these things as it travels through up your spine. And so, with that being said, really stretching the spine is going to be key. So, like we talked about last week when we talked about the root chakra, unlocking the suppressed bones in your spine, especially those of you who may be experiencing low back issues. Because as we discussed, the root chakra, as well as the sacral chakra, are going to be a place where you will, if you are experiencing low back pain, those are the two energy centers, the energy that you want to focus on. I get the physical manifestation of it, right? Because that's what the chronic pain and things like that look like. Is it looks like a blockage and an imbalance in the root and sacral chakra areas, right? So getting like a bouncy ball, like I don't even know what to call this thing, but it's it's a exercise. You guys have seen exercise balls that you bounce on, right? So elongating your spine to make sure that there is sufficient flow in the energy of your spine is going to be very, very helpful. Now, also opening your hips, doing different stretches that are going to open up your hips, open up your legs, right? Stretch and flex. That is going to help you to make sure that there's a free flow of energy throughout this area, because what happens is when there is a blockage, it may become painful, your joints may become stiff, and all of these things. And so also, if you just want to just stay flexible, that's also going to help, because remember, it's always the flow of energy, because it's energy throughout your body that wants to move, that wants to flow, that wants to go. You know what I mean? So it's just allowing it to do what it does without getting trapped into, emotions, lower emotions, and just getting stuck in a particular emotion, because the emotions are all energy in motion. So allow your emotion to flow is very, very key. For men, a good cry, you know what I mean? Like a good cry. Because I know my sisters, we can be very emotional and cry a lot, right? Some of us. But sometimes a good cry really helps to clear and cleanse out the different stuck energies that may be in your body. But just remember, because we're talking about the sacral chakra, and generally our reproductive parts are usually covered, right? At least from the general public. So we're talking about energy that is hidden energy, right? Hidden emotions, things that you don't really show the world, aspects of you that most of the time people don't see. It's that scorpionic energy, that very sharp energy, but very deep at the same time, right? And so it hit different, right? It hit different. So you want to make sure that energy is always in flow, right? Being creative, right? So again, whatever your creativity is, right? I was telling my friend that one of my nieces, my little love, she just recently started playing the clarinet. And I'm so proud of her for that, because I see how much of an outlet that can be, especially like if you have teenagers and stuff like this. If allow them to do things that are creative, right? This is like when you see kids playing and stuff like that, and they're just kind of drawing and minding their own business in their own world. That really gives us insight to see what it is that's going on inside their minds, as we probably know, right? And so the same thing with adults. So so you have a lot of adults now getting adult coloring books, sketch pads, right? Like I said, journaling, doing, playing an instrument, learning a new language. All of these things are going to help with your creativity. And if it's something that you enjoy that brings you joy and money, that's a win-win for a sacral chakra energy. That is a win-win. So you want to talk about, do you want to talk about abundance? Tap into your creative energy and doing that thing that you love that brings you joy, and watch the money can't help but to come to you, right? Because you are in joy. You are in joy. And that's that creative God energy, right? That allows you to truly birth something new, right? And so I hope that all of the artists out there, that if you have found yourself stuck, do some work, or do some work on yourself. Do some work on yourself. Tap into those deep emotions that you may feel when nobody else is around. Tap into that darkness. Tap into that lonely energy that you feel and what you feel when you are in that space. That's where you're going. Tap into that. So that when you go to that dark, dark place, you allow yourself a rebirth, right? That sacral creative birth energy, you allow yourself a rebirth. You allow yourself a transformation and a transition, because you are actually looking at the darkness and becoming the light. So I hope that, I know that's for somebody, like, so other things, deep breathing. And so y'all will hear me talk about deep breathing throughout this journey through the 7 chakras period, right? So one of the things that is beautiful when you really want to bring yourself and bring your body back and bring your energy back into a place of homeostasis, some of the things that are going to be so helpful are deep breathing, right? So if any of you have gone and to do a massage, and they offer you like the aromatherapy, this is in part why. Because what happens is sense, right? This is why at Conscious Creations we make sense, right? Because it is what it is. But we make sense, and we use sense because what your nose is connected to the olfactory lobe of the brain. That is the place in your brain that is responsible for smelling, right? The olfactory lobe is located in the hippocampus of the brain. And the hippocampus is the place that deals with the emotions and your emotional responses, that fight, flight, or freeze reaction, right? So when that system is activated, you think about certain scents and how they can take you to another place, right? When you smell something, think about like when you smell, I don't know, like a pleasant smell, like somebody that you like that smells good, and you happen to catch a whiff of that scent. It brings these memories of that experience to you. So scent has the ability to transport you through time. You understand? Because it's this air, ether energy, right? It's ethereal. So it has the ability to truly transport you through time, space, and dimensions. Because just even in that description, there was something that you thought about. There was a scent that you thought about. So whether it was your grandmother's house, your mama's house, good cooking, whatever it may be, there is something about scent that is sensual. You understand? It is sensual. And so it helps to activate and to balance that sacral chakra energy. So, we talk about things like pheromones when we're talking about, attracting a partner. And even animals have this, right? Animals have the same thing. So, they will emit a scent during mating season to attract certain animals, right? The same thing with people. So when you have certain scents, certain oils and resins, whatever, on your skin, in your bloodstream, in your aura, that naturally attracts like energy to them, right? And so one of the things that we do at Conscious Creations, of course, as you all probably know, is we make scents, right? And we make oils like massage oils for the very reason that we're speaking about now. Because when you want to truly be tapped in and tuned in to who you are on every level, there are certain tools and things that you can use to help you do that. So one of the things that we have done, and this we did this about a year or so ago, but we created a 7 chakra system, essential oil or massage oil kit that you can get on the website, which is www.consciouscreations.live. So this is our, if you can see this is our sacral chakra oil. This is our sacral chakra oil. And you see it has the Swavasthana, which is how you say it, right? The Swavasthana chakra, or the sacral chakra symbol, if you may, on the front. And the name of this oil is I Create to Express. Because as you probably know about Conscious Creations, we consciously create. And so this oil was created with the awareness of the things that I'm telling you all about. And so when this oil was created, it was made with essential oils to include juniper berry, lemongrass, and sage. So if you are looking to bring balance into your sacral chakra, this is a great oil for your collection, right? And so one of the things that you want to do is when you go to get massages, or if you massage yourself, or however it is that you practice self-care, you want to make sure that you put this oil in the palms of your hands and you rub it together, because when you do that, the heat from your hands will help to activate it, because it's going to help the oil to thin a little bit to make the application of the oil onto your skin easier. Okay, so that's going to help. One of the other things that you can do with this sacral chakra oil is to actually rub it across your sacral chakra. Massage, give yourself a massage. This is going to help the blood flow, because one of the things that causes so let me back up for a second. So when any energy is blocked, it causes a backup, right? So if you think about the veins and everything going through, think about like a pipe, right? So you have like water flowing through a pipe, and all of a sudden you put a cotton ball in there, or a sock, or something like that. It's going to block the flow. And so everything that's going to come after that blockage is going to be backed up. You understand? And it's the water, or whatever the liquid was that was flowing through, is going to have a more difficult time getting through. So this is why it's important to make sure that the chakras are unblocked, so that all of the information that you are receiving from your Christed consciousness, you are receiving that in a way that's unobstructed, that's uninhibited, right? You're receiving the clarity of information that you are receiving from the Most High. You understand? So this is how unblocking these chakra systems are going to help you, because it's going to help that flow on every level. On a physical level, it helps with blood flow. On a emotional level, it helps the emotions to flow, so that you are responding, right, versus reacting. Because when you are reacting, you are acting again based on a stimulus that has already occurred. So you are reacting. You understand what I'm saying? Because there is a delay in the flight. There's a delay in your flight. So in order to do that, you want to make sure that there's no blockages in the traffic, right? Let the traffic, you know what I'm saying? Unblock the traffic that is flowing through your body by doing these things that you can do. Now, like I said, when it comes to the sacral chakra, you can take this oil with any of our chakra oils, right? You can take this oil and actually rub it and massage it onto, the sacral chakra energy to release the blood flow. And so this is going to be key, especially for women around that time of the month, before that time of the month, right? To help to release, or to unblock and to let go of any sort of trauma, any sort of stagnant energy, any sort of emotional blockages that you had throughout the course of the month as you're preparing for, to put a period on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like put a period on it. So you're gonna massage that your sacral chakra area to allow that blood to flow and allow, that energy to leave through the monthly shedding. You understand? Okay. Let me see. I just want to make sure that I give y'all all the goods here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we talked about the energy in terms of the hypothalamus. But one of the other things we want to talk about is the hormones, because your body, of course, produces these chemicals that are called hormones. And these hormones send signals through your body. And they send these hormones particularly to your reproductive organs that your body needs for fertility. Now, this isn't just you trying to have a baby fertility. This is creative fertility. This is emotional fertility. This is, being able to be flexible in all manner of ways, right? So that's flexible in your ideas, flexible in your perspective, flexible in your energy, just, you know what I mean? Being able to flow and to be more fluid in your energy, to make sure that you're not having any of these blockages that we're talking about, which we'll go into even more. But these hormones are things like estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, right? So these chemicals play a role in your reproductive wellness, fertility, and sexual vitality. And so making sure that this energy is clear throughout your body, again, will help with your hormones, because the brain is sending signals throughout the rest of your body, including to that reproductive area. And part of that neurotransmission of signals, it is this information that it is sending for all of the parts, for everything that your body needs in order to thrive and be healthy, right? So you want to make sure that you're giving yourself the tools that you need in order to do this, especially if you're having issues that we're talking about. Now, I wanted to go over, so this is where I'm going to read my notes a little bit, because I wanted to make sure I cover all of these things, because these are not all of these things. I had to do research to find out most of these ailments, but I wanted to make sure to bring it to you all, because if you or someone else is having these issues, then I really want you to be able to have the tools that you need to be able to help yourself. So, like we talked about, stifled, creative blockages, stifled sensuality, lack of flexibility, right? But in terms of the related ailments, we're talking if the energy is blocked in your sacral chakra, that can physically present as reproductive issues. So that can be tumors, fibroids, things like that for the women in your womb. For men, that can look like erectile dysfunction. That can look like urinary system issues in both males and females. That can look like menstrual, like I said, menstrual dysfunction. So we're talking cramps and PMS, right? Now, I haven't even gotten to that point completely yet, y'all. I'm still working through some of those things myself, because I've had to deal with, menstrual cramps and things like that. But this is why I'm talking about what I'm talking about, because what I have come to realize is that these things don't have to occur, right? This doesn't have to be the reality. A lot of it is because of how we've been conditioned in society and how we've been programmed to think not just about our own bodies and our own sexuality and our own energy and all of these things, but what we consume, right? What we eat, what we listen to, all of these things play a part because they affect our emotions. And if we're talking about emotional energy, we're really talking about, like I said, that fight, flight, or freeze response. So anything that triggers that triggers those responses has the potential to hijack your sacral chakra energy and hijack your hypothalamus of your brain so that you are actually reacting. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is why this energy is so, this is why it's so powerful, because of all of the ways that it can truly change your life once you actually learn to manage, you know what I mean, once you actually learn to manage and balance and harmonize this energy. um, so other, some of the other physical ailments that you can experience if your sacral chakra is out of balance is joint problems, lack of sensual pleasure, diseases of the bowels. Now, this was the part that came to me as a shock. It makes sense because it's so connected to the bowels, but so things like what is it, like Crohn's disease, diverticulitis. You want to look at these things because it may be something on a metaphysical level that you can take a look at that may help to remove this energy for you. Carbohydrate addictions, and let me tell you why. I was talking to one of my friends about this today. Because I look at that like the pleasure principle, right? Shout out to Janet Jackson. So when we talk about the pleasure principle, because the sacral chakra deals with pleasure, it also deals with that part of the brain that has to do with pleasure, right? And so one of the things that happened when we were talking in the beginning in childhood, when the reward for certain behaviors or that we determine to be good are rewarded with, you know, sugar and things like that, that almost, not almost, we become one codependent, and that codependency is a sacral chakra issue, right? We form these unnatural codependencies on certain substances, on people, right? It can be very, what is it, this toxic love thing? Is that it could very much be an overactive or underactive sacral chakra energy. In most cases where there's, well, in either way, right? So it's this system of wanting to, right, have your pleasure, of course, but at the same time not being so addicted to, or not being so engulfed or and consumed by pleasure that it forms an addiction. And I know that it's a delicate balance, hence the power in this creative energy, because you literally have the power to create whatever it is that you desire once you actually learn to harness your own energy. So if you found yourself dealing with sugar addictions, addictions to carbohydrates, things like that, take a look at where you need to feel more loved, where you can show yourself more love. Because remember, this is not about what someone else can give you. This is about what you need to give yourself to be whole, to be in a place of wholeness, so that when you meet someone, if you're not, you know, if you're not already, you know, in a romantic relationship, if that's something that you desire, if you're not already there, when you do meet someone, you can approach them and have, you know, build this relationship on a foundation of health and well-being, as opposed to people that are broken coming together to try to fix each other. Do you see what I'm saying? Because that can certainly create some long-term issues, right? So really investing in yourself, taking care of yourself, practicing self-care, doing a deep dive into you, and taking a look at all of the ways that you can be better for yourself, right? Because, you know, when you're great for yourself, of course you're going to be great for other people, right? So let's talk about what it looks like when this the sacral chakra is activated. So, like I said, it's this energy. It unlocks this kundalini energy that travels up the spine, and it activates this light and dark energy. So it activates both our angels and our demons, because we're all of it, right? It activates the angels and the demons. And so you basically learn how to deal with your own internal kingdom, if you may. You learn how to be the god over your own kingdom, or you know, the goddess over your own queendom or kingdom, however you call it, right? But remember, it's all inside of you. So we're talking about, dealing with ancestral things. So, because remember, when we talked last week about the root chakra, we're talking about these are at the root are your ancestors, your core, your foundation, right? What your DNA structure is built on. And so part of this requires you healing, like I said, starting with that root energy, healing that root chakra energy, so that your energy climbs up the ladder or climbs up the spine, it's doing so based on a stable foundation. So at every level, at every point that we're talking about, and really journeying through the different chakras and journeying through this energy, it's important to keep yourself balanced, so that even if if you dip or whatever in an energy that's very dense for you, you have the ability to breathe your way through it. And so this is where we're going to talk about, like I said, with the olfactory system, and that sense of smell, breathing deeply, right? Because emotions can be very dense. It is that water energy, and it is like, generally speaking, when it's coming from the sacral chakra. Remember, our bodies are 70% water. So if most of our water energy or most of our emotion is, I don't want to say trapped, but if most of the energy is concentrated in our sacral chakra, and we have not learned to balance that energy in a way that's going to add to our creativity and help us to do what it is that we want to do in terms of creating reality, then what happens is these shadow aspects, because remember, it's emotions. So it's that the shadow aspects of our emotions can come to the surface. But in everything, it comes to the surface for you to acknowledge it, for you to heal it, and for you to be able to breathe and work your way through it. Now, like I said, some of the things that we've experienced in life may feel a little bit more dense. So having things like oils and herbs and good water, but having these things to be able to work through the energies are very, very, very helpful. Because when you are able to activate yourself, remember, you are activating your cells. You are supercharging and superpowering yourself. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I'm grateful to each and every one of you for being here, because if you have made it this far, which is 42 minutes in. So if you have made it this far, you're a real one. You're a real one. And I'm so grateful for you. And I send to you balanced chakras. I send to you wholeness and balanced vibrations, as the good brother Seven Bomar would say. But I send to you wholeness and balanced vibrations. The sacral chakra energy is so potent and so powerful. And this is one of the reasons I'm so grateful for Conscious Creations, because when I started Conscious Creations 4 years ago, I didn't know all of the stuff. I didn't know all that I know in this moment, right? But I'm grateful because I've been able to build Conscious Creations on this foundation, right? That we have this level of knowledge and information and wisdom, and so we are able to consciously create products for those that we love with this information, to be able to help people to heal things, right, within themselves that they maybe never thought would be healed, or address things that have been such a part of your life. You thought it had become normal to you, right? But I want to empower all of you to be able to truly create, to be able to create from your best and highest self, and allow yourself to feel, that energy, to truly tap into your own energy, that inner god or inner goddess within you, to awaken that energy, to truly grow up and evolve and walk into your best and highest, your best. I don't even want to say your highest, but your greatest, most excellent reality that you have envisioned, because you are just that powerful. And I want you to know that. And I hope you know that. So thank you so much for not only investing in yourself, but also for investing in conscious creations, because it is your energy that also contributes to the platform. And so I'm just so grateful to all of you all on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much to everyone who joined on the Instagram Live. If you've taken anything away from this conversation that is helpful to you, I hope that you will share. First of all, I hope that you would like the video. I hope that you would share the video. If you are on on whichever platform, I hope that you would subscribe. I hope that you would tune in, because this information is truly something. Like I said, I didn't know this until I knew this, and now that I know this, now I have to share this with other people, because it has been so profoundly life-changing for me. And I see the way that it also has an effect on other people when they truly know who they are and awaken to who they are in all of their their glorious divinity. So thank y'all. Any questions? Make sure that you go to www.consciouscreations.live. Get yourself some sacral chakra oil. Pick up the whole collection. Any other tips, tools, advice that you need, you can also send us an email at, what's the email? consciouscreationslive@gmail.com. So we'll be back next week, hopefully at 8 o'clock. But the plan is, that's the plan, 8 o'clock next week, we'll be talking about the solar plexus. Okay? So, love y'all. Talk to you soon. Until next time, love yourself well. You deserve it.